Yeah, the dude for the
Gardener's
Garden. So I bought the bar of soap from them, and my issue with bar of soaps is usually that it's like too dry afterwards. Right. But that one, it dries you out, but it's clean. So then I ran out of shampoo, and I was like, military day, I started putting it on, and I was like, yo, this and from a barber standpoint, it rips all the chemicals and from products and stuff that you use out of your head. Yeah, so then it's just.
Dude, I bought his shampoo bar. It's awesome.
Do you like it?
I
was gonna buy that next.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been thinking about doing it for years because when you travel and stuff like that, it's not a liquid, so you can throw it you take a big bar if you want, right? And it's awesome. I love it. Yeah.
If it's anything like
you can smell it.
Otherwise, 4 ounces.
Shout out to Body Butters though.
Damn.
I know, damn Gina. Go pass it.
And that's a body
That's the Body Butter soap.
No, I know, but I'm saying it's just what you just said.
I know you I know it's soap.
You know when your mind tries to catch up,
I'm like it's soap. You like Body Butters? That's Body Butter soap.
You mean the one you rub?
Yeah, the one on your body.
Yeah, the one with the loofah. That one. Ooh.
Yeah, great sweats on the soap side of the game.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
What's this one?
That one's lemongrass.
I've been wanting this one.
She just came out with. Shout out to the bodybutters.com. Yeah. And I got the lemongrass body butter in the Costco size.
Yeah, that's a big.
I got it on right now.
You got the lemongrass on?
I'm wearing lemongrass, yeah. That stuff's awesome. I love it. That's my
favorite.
favorite.
Did you see when Debbie sniffed my arm?
Yeah, that was hilarious, right?
Man, did you see? Double up.
Gray sweats on gray sweats on gray sweats.
Yeah. Trouble.
I don't smell that.
He got the wrong.
That one's really light.
What?
He got the wrong.
Very white.
You don't smell none?
Yo, this right here.
Did that too.
You throw the gray sweats, man, and then you put a little bit of depending on your cologne, if it's a softer cologne, oh my god, it enhances it.
You smell it, actually, just
here. Put your face in. What she said. Okay.
Hey, how's the earth? Have you done the rain one?
I have the rain one. I could
How
bring
do you like it?
It's cool. It's chill. I think it'll be dope in the summertime.
I feel like this would be nice to go to bed
That's what I use the lavender for.
I feel like it has that what is it? The eucalyptus.
My lavender put me to sleep.
Man, I love that one.
That one smells good.
Yeah.
No. So shout out to the Body Butters. Step your game up to bodybutters.com. Shout out to Tish. You know what I'm saying? Doing big things. Step your soap game up. Y'all out here on dial. What?
Head and
We
shoulders.
don't know who they are. So anyways. What's up, fellas?
Yeah.
Okay. There's something going on in the building.
Dino's feeling good today.
Dino is. We'll talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. Welcome to another beautiful episode of Y'all Wanna Talk About It.
Yeah.
Big Ernest in the building over there. Dino's in the building, excited AF. Young Chad Creed. My brother Griff is in the building. And Freddie B on the ones and twos. What?
Hey.
Not today. All right, well, y'all want to talk about it?
Let's talk about
it. Where you get all this energy from? What happened?
Hey man,
What y'all do today?
Cleanse today. The whole team cleansed today. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, just that half of the team.
Yeah.
I mean, but you see them over there
Good.
Hey, well, Yall gave up his position for one of us.
I took the back seat.
I appreciate that. I appreciate
pause.
that.
Shout out to whatever. Whatever. I don't even know what that means. Really.
Hey man, go cleanse y'all souls, man.
Anyway, they did hydrotherapy, aka hydrocolonics, with my good friend Elizabeth. She gonna come on the podcast too and give y'all all the edification, man, because she's dope. But yeah, they got you tell them about the hydro.
Shout out to Be More Clean.
Yeah.
Definitely got me cleaned up.
Be More Clean on the gram. Check her out.
Yeah.
Was you nervous though? Because you went first.
Yeah, I was nervous, legit. But then, she has a way with words, so she was calming me down. And not really calming, but just making me feel more comfortable. But I mean, at first it was intense, and then she guided me through. So,
Did anything come out? Did you see a whole steak just walk by?
saw some shrimp.
Some shrimp. Walk by in the tube. So if y'all like, what are we talking about? Hydrocolonics, they put the water in your system, flush out stuff that's been there your whole life. And I witnessed it, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. Like to see stuff going through a tube where you're like, there go that corn from 88.
Changing, boy.
You're like, oh, okay.
And then you think about what you put in your body, though.
Yeah, it really does, man. It really
There's no
does.
representation.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And we joke a lot, we whatever, you know what I'm saying? But it was like, if we gonna do podcasts together, work out together, grow businesses, be around each other's families and stuff, I'm like, yo, we gotta do healthy stuff too.
Yeah.
So Ernest
full
went,
circle.
Dino went, we waited for Dino to come out. You know
Yo,
what I'm saying?
shout out that again, that's what family's all about, man. Cause I was nervous as hell, I ain't even gonna lie. I'm comfortable with who I am, but that was just a very uncomfortable position. But it's because what we talked about, right? Like in our communities and as men, sometimes we that's not talked about, those type of things, right? Like how to take care of yourself, and then what do we normally do? We wait till it's too late. You know what I mean? And once the problem, like once you see the problem, like it's too late then to try to fix it, you know? So if you could jump on it ahead, you know, I didn't believe you when you told me about, you know, at first when you're like, man, some people, they feel like negativity leaves their body and this and that. And I'm like, yo, what? Like, man, you just cleansing out. And then I found myself after the whole situation, I was just like, just a deep thought, like, damn, yo, like, I gotta do better. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta do better. Like, that's not cool. You know what I mean? To be like that and to be uncomfortable and to, you know, just be carrying that around, man. Like that's
because you got the award for the most release of the day.
Undefeated, baby. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I should be proud of that.
I mean,
You get a little trophy or
she said it wasn't a competition, but Dino,
it was like a little turd trophy. You know what I mean? Like it's like the little, what's the little turd emoji? I won the butt dump award.
That's too funny.
That's where I'm going next week, Saturday, 1:15.
Hey.
So it's kind of funny because she asked me, like, yo, you got anybody want to come through? And I'm like, let me ask the fam. I asked, and everybody said yes. And then I was like, what about me? She was like, I'm booked now.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie.
I was like, what?
I ain't gonna lie. When you sent the text out, I started laughing because like a good 2, 3, maybe 5 minutes went by, nobody said anything. And then I think you were the first, so you were like, I'm in. And then it was like, I'm in.
Yeah.
Everybody
They was like, what is this dude?
Everybody was like,
yeah, it was like, is this a setup? Like,
right.
nah, yo, it was.
We could party together. We can get, you know what I'm saying?
That's real.
Yeah,
That's
man.
how I
I got my girl wanting to do it now.
Yeah, just did it today. Man, at first I was like, I don't know if I want to watch. And then I was like, okay. And after your initial little bit of shock, it's like, wow, that's powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Really
shout
is.
out to Be More Clean. You know what I mean? Freddie Bill don't want no smoke.
Yeah, you know, well, maybe we'll see. You guys all have to let me know how it goes the second time around.
Hey, man, we can all.
You'll take the vaccine. Bro, don't get me started. Anyway, shout out to Anthony Griffin in the building. Nah, bro, you don't want to talk about it. Yo, shoot me with but water in my system? Dude.
But that
Mystery stuff? Bring it twice. Right. Triple filtrated water.
Wow.
Yeah, you like that?
I see
A young call out.
I see how it's gonna be tonight.
Wait, did you get the vaccine?
I got one shot, yeah.
You sell out. You got it?
Oh, you sell it?
No. For real?
Yeah.
he got the ouchie Fauci.
Damn,
That's funny. That ouchie
For
felt.
real?
Yeah.
How'd you even qualify? You ain't old.
It's open to everybody in Arizona now. You're 16 years old.
Bro, they
you
giving
can-
out
They
free.
giving it to, they testing, they doing the lab rat test.
Yeah, man.
The thing was, I needed to get a new
Check
phone.
them.
So when you go get your phone, right, it's the same chip in the phone and your arm. So they just give it all to you at the same time. They're like, do you want the chip in the phone or do you want it in your arm? So I got it.
You like put it in my arm.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. That's coming, but
Right.
yeah. You just want to flex that you got the new phone. I see
That
what you doing
wasn't
out
really
there.
it.
Yes, it was. It's like, watch how I slide in how I got the new phone.
Clean,
Okay.
clean case
See
and
what you
everything.
doing out here. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Anthony in the building. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Renegade Elite. You see the shirt. Hey man,
Hey.
we co-hosted an event this weekend, and Anthony
Killed us. Slaughtered.
Slaughterhouse Fitness.
9 lives.
I died at that
It was great though. So I'm glad he came out because he live in Seattle. So he was here before on the podcast. He back on the special guest appearance side of the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so yeah, I don't know what else y'all, Freddie B.
No, I'm still thinking about how much I'm hurting from yesterday.
You still hurt?
Yeah.
Was it the squat hold? No, the
No,
fall forward.
It was
your
that was
meal.
the rest. The squat, hold squat. That was supposed to be our rest.
Well, we had a conversation, and then I was like, yeah, they don't need no rest.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, they work out.
Right. Okay.
The
fall forward. That was crazy.
Yeah. The football hits too.
And then the up downs. Yeah, that was not. That was not.
That was great.
It's been a long time since I've had to do those. So I mean, probably since I was in high school playing football. And so I was doing them, and I'm looking over at Ernest like, I wonder when the last time Ernest was.
Yeah, I got to pass on those. Hey, those hit the chest right then. I was like, all right, I'm out of breath.
At the end, he's yelling down. I'm like, I'm still down from the last one.
He's like, I'm down for real. No, that was great. That was good energy.
Yeah.
For real.
Great event.
Because last time he was a little injured.
Mm-hmm.
So I kept telling him, I was like, y'all, that wasn't it. I was like, that was a little edited version. This time to fall forward. That's good. That's a good metaphor for life.
Yeah.
Fall forward.
Well, I told you
So
yesterday.
trust exercise.
There's not a lot of things I mean, I don't think people can invent too many exercises that I haven't done already, but that was a new one on me, though. Fall on your face and catch yourself and do a push-up.
Don't hit your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good.
That's my call.
Break
Trust
your nose.
Don't hit your face.
Yeah, don't hit your
Yeah,
face.
I never did that before either.
Well, that was a good one. You know, so.
Bonus points for
Good work.
creativity. Good job.
Good work. Coach Griff in the building.
Yeah.
So anyways, on the lesser note, I guess, I don't know, take how you want. Rest in peace, DMX passed away
Man, that was
at
tough.
50, which is young AF,
Mm-hmm.
which was like a whirlwind of,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I don't know, like, where y'all was at when y'all first heard DMX, but I just remember being like, who is that? And then like,
98 was his first.
like energy, like,
This dark.
why is he barking on the dude is barking on the track? What is going on? And then, yeah, I don't know.
Yo, I can't tell you those out, man. Those first "It's Dark and Hell Is Hot," "Flesh of My Flesh," man. Those two albums right there, man, got me
Yeah,
through so
those-
much. Like, just
Still
rock,
do.
you know, and still do.
Yeah,
That's my-
little teenage years.
Mhm.
Like, so
I
I
remember-
learned a lot from him. Just
Yo, funny story. So
what he's saying.
my mom's like growing up. You know, my mom's from New York and stuff, and like I can never curse, like, you know what I'm saying, at somebody directly, but if I was singing a song or something, she was cool with it, whatever. She loves music. And so I remember when that album dropped, I was like, yo, I gotta get it. I put it on, man. We were in the car leaving, and I put it on, and yo, I was just in the zone, just like instantly singing the words, and I was like, yo, my man, I turned to look at my mom just looked at me and was like, get the out of my car. And she like took the CD and launched it, and I was like, no, like, what are you doing? Yo. But it was, man, I stayed bumping that album,
Took
man.
the CD, you know it was real.
Mm-hmm.
The CD life.
I even had the cassette, because I think in that time too they were still like they were doing cassettes. So I had both. I had the cassette and because the CDs that just started releasing and all that stuff. So I had them both, man. And DMX was a big one. Did y'all hear how he got hooked on crack?
Yeah, that
Yo,
was
that broke
crazy.
my heart, man. So he was 14, and his idol or whatever that he grew up. He was
Like
an
a
older
big
dude,
homie.
like a big homie. He used to rap, and then DMX used to beatbox. And then one day he was like, "Yo, let's switch." And so that's how he started with music, right? And then from there they started like doing events and freestyle battles and stuff. And then DMX never did any drugs. Like he wasn't doing any of that stuff. And then finally he started getting into weed or whatever, and the dude laced the weed.
Yeah.
And then from there it hit, and then what made it even worse was that all those, like, that's why when you hear the pain and the struggle in those songs, he was talking about how like that all spawned from the fact of how hurt and betrayed he was from this dude who was the homie, and he just couldn't process it in his head. Like, how could you do this to me when I was 14, bro?
You know I look up to you.
You know I look up to you, you know what I'm saying? And you, like, I was a kid, man. I was innocent to life. Like, yeah, he was running the streets and doing whatever. That's what they did in those times. But, like, and then I just, like, when I remember reading that the first time, I was like, yo, that broke my heart, because I was like, dang. And then him going, I was just, my biggest thing was like, yo, I just hope that he doesn't go down and only remember for this. right? Because he did, like, I mean, he paved the way, like, in so much of music, man. I mean, and
well, you see how mainstream media treated though. Have you seen that?
Yep.
The wordplay.
Yep.
So who's the other dude that I don't know because I don't follow the old dude.
Oh, Prince Philip.
So he died, and it's like, oh, Prince Philip, died, and then it's like DMX who struggled with drug, like.
Yeah.
They make sure they put that in the headline, and it's like, yo, I guarantee you, Prince Philip's life was not perfect.
Yep.
He did something.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
But they don't put that in the, like, that's not there. And then for DMX, it's like,
crackhead, you know what I mean, this and that.
rapper who struggles with drugs dies. Like, what? Like,
did you guys catch the, did you guys catch that they had a video and somebody, some like hip hop media, whatever thing, posted on there like DMX being escorted out of, you know, body being escorted out, and like the whole city was lit and everything, and I was like, yo, this is crazy, because that image that they shot was Orlando, Florida. It was a car that just had speakers all over it, and it was blasting the music, and Orlando was just, I mean, it was like downtown Orlando, so it was already lit, and he was passing by, but it just made me laugh, because I'm like, yo, and just like that is how people can run with media thinking that it's something, but all they did was take, you know what I mean? Like the music thing.
but didn't they do, was that, I saw one, but I thought it was in New York when he was in the hospital before.
So that one was in New York, because they were outside of White
outside.
Plains. Yeah, so that was real. That was them outside. But there was another one, and they made it look like it was his body being escorted out of the hospital and this and that. And I was like, yo, like, mainstream media will do anything to just catch an article, to catch a, you know what I mean? To just get publicity. That was the word I was looking for. But
y'all gotta listen to his prayers, man.
oh yeah.
Like,
I still think the hardest one is Dark and Hell is Hot.
yeah. It's just like a different level of spirituality, right? I guess because he's a street dude, and I was watching his sister. His sister has a powerful, and I'll send y'all the link. But she's talking about what their mother did to them and why he was like that, and the level of his mom dropping them off at a boys' shelter, and like that's it as a kid, you know what I mean? And just the pain and the stuff that he would talk about. I still like listen to him. I've always been like, you know, even before this, like I'm like, yo, like
all day.
People were saying that too, because a lot of people be like, oh, give them their flowers while they're alive. Why y'all wait till he's dead? Now y'all want to listen to, and they're like, yo, DMX was streaming like 18 million views per month before all of this. Like timeless music, you know what I'm saying?
You know what's crazy too, man? Swiss Beats did a little thing where he came out, because you know Swiss Beats gave him, like, them two started the whole thing, and like he was just talking about how like, yo, like DMX was the most selfless dude, like all his prayers were always for everybody else, knowing that he needed the prayers more than anybody else, but like you never saw him, he was like, I don't think DMX ever owned a Maybach, I don't think he owned any Lamborghinis, you never saw him in the flyest gear, like he was who he was, and you know what I'm saying, and like, I mean, that's what you saw is what you got, and it was a dude who, yeah, he was battling his own demons, but he
was transparent about it. I think that was the biggest thing. It's like, I'm gonna let you into my world, dark, like everything. So you like, yo, and people just say, oh, drugs, this, that, and the third. I'm like, man. So I used to do music videos, and his was the first one I ever booked, and it was an accident. It wasn't even on purpose. And they were like, yo, we want you to be a stand-in for DMX. And I was like, what? And then I saw how much they was paying. And I was like, I'll be there. Right? And then, so we get to the set, and like you said about this is when I found out like music videos and stuff is just a lot of facade, right? So it's like Scott Storch's house, he got 11 cars, you know what I'm saying? Swiss Beats made, it was 2 songs in one. It was a song called Give 'Em What They Want. It's only like 90 seconds. And then it goes into a song called Pump Your Fist, and Swiss Beats made, I think Scott Storch made the first beat, Swiss Beats made the second one. I didn't know who Swiss Beats was at the time. But in the video, there's a scene where it's like, it's supposed to look like a concert. But they have to test all the lights on me because he ain't gonna stand there all day. You know, he's a star, they don't do that. So I'm the only one that get to be around them. They're like, stand here, test the lights, stay there, okay. Kiana, move out the way. And all of them, Swiss Beats, everybody's back here. And I'm like, you talk about his pain and his passion, like you could sense it when he just talked normal. Same way he rapped is how he talked. And so I'm just back there like, yo, this dude, he really talked like this. Cause I only heard him on CD. But I'm like, yo, he really talks like this. And he's like telling them this and that. And then he's like, yeah, I got this health issue, whatever. He was like drinking Hennessy, smoking a book. I was like, yo, But I still respected it. Like, man, this dude goes hard. And so what I did the other day is I just went back and I pulled the video up.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like even more emotional because I was like, yo, I was there. Like I saw all this happen and I was like, oh, this is, because the video didn't match DMX. So this is after he had already came out with Dark as Hell, all that, right? And then he was, I don't know what he did, but he disappeared for a while. And this was like his comeback. But these was like club. Both of these songs is like, was supposed to be like bangers. I don't think they did that well as far as compared to what else he had. Because it wasn't really him, like a Lambo pulling up, they in this big house with a spiral staircase.
That was the Great Depression, wasn't it? I think
maybe.
What they
I don't even know what,
That's
so,
the one that had the
Yeah. So I mean, but like, I went back and watched the video. And I was like, man, that's crazy. Like, and now this dude is gone, but it was like nostalgic. Like, of course I listened to the music, you know what I'm saying? But
yo, that dude performed at Woodstock,
bruh, and had that whole crowd like,
He said because they so Nori has a podcast that they do. I forgot what it's called. Yeah, and they had it. There was an old one that they had him on, and he was asking. He was like, yo, how does it feel like? Because you were doing things that like people from where we come from, like they weren't doing that, you know what I mean? Right. And he said, he was like, yo, like when I performed at Woodstock, like that was like the most, he said, bro, like I never, like the people just went into the clouds. Yeah. Like that's how many, like, I mean, that's.
Did you see it? They just, a bunch of them reposted it. And it's just like a sea of people. Yeah. It's just crazy.
Crazy, like, and for that era, that time, for him to be doing that, like a hip hop artist, and then especially, like you said, this guy barking on stage, and like, you go back and watch a lot of his stuff, like this is a dude that would pass out. Like from going so hard and giving everything he had, he would just pass out on like concerts and tours and like, you know what I mean? Like that's just, it's crazy, man. And I still think, I don't know if they fixed it, they corrected it, but they hold him, man. They gave him 3 mics on the Source when It's Dark and Hell is Hot came out. I remember that magazine when that came out. I was like, what? And then I think like 10 years later, somebody like put it out, and like I think before they started fading away, somebody put it out and was like, yo, like y'all need to go back and get that man 5 mics, because that album is a classic, bro, from start to finish. But and then if you listen to the Damien skits, so a lot of people don't know, but if you listen to the Damien skits from the first one, I think all the way to the Great Depression is when he releases. But if you listen to it, it's crazy because it's that the story of like his battle with the devil. Like, and then it's crazy because you follow it and you listen to all of them and you see how when he starts, it's like, all right, I'm gonna do it, and then it's like, yo, I'm not doing this no more. Then it's like, yo, I'm done with you, and like
that's that internal conversation that people have. That's what I'm saying. He was so transparent, and man, it's like I just hope that people, because I done seen stuff about the feminist movement trying to come after him now for stuff that he said, and I'm like, man,
let it go.
Let it go.
Like,
man.
yo, hey, but on some real, like, okay, so, because I posted about this, right? And even a lady that I'm cool with, if whatever you want to, she wrote on there, like, oh, well, he did this stuff, animal cruelty and whatever, so he's never forgiven. And I'm like, how evil? Like, yo, this man just died. And you're like, well, one time he did this, so, like, your life is so clean that you never did nothing
but even
wrong.
more so, man, like when did you find that out? Now?
That's what I'm.
You know what I mean?
Even if
like,
you found out, so what? Like, yo, people make mistakes. People don't all come from the same. Like, oh, 2-parent home, and we live in the suburbs, and it's cool. You don't understand the culture.
Yep.
And to me, I'm just like, yo, someone dies, and the first thing you do is talk about something they did that you didn't like. So they're not forgiven. So how miserable is your life?
So there was a thread online about all the people that had encounters with him and stuff like that. And I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't really know his music like you guys did growing up and stuff like that, right? But man, this was like the most tearjerker thread you ever heard. I mean, he was so good to people. Yeah. The story that that really stuck in my brain was this woman was like, man, I was like 6 years old selling Girl Scout cookies at the grocery store. And DMX comes out, and she's like, I knew who he was. She's like, I'm like, damn, that's DMX. And he came over and bought some cookies. And so he started talking to me, and I was telling him that I was trying to sell enough cookies to go to, I don't know, whatever, you know, I don't know how you guys know, but you sell a lot of Girl Scout cookies, you win prizes, right?
Yeah.
So she's explaining all the prizes she wants to win, and DMX was like, all right, I'll take them all, let's go, put them in my car.
Yeah.
And he's like, he laid down $500 and he took them all, but he talked to me for an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I mean,
He was a giver, man.
yeah, right. I mean, and it was all stories like that. Like people would he was in the hospital for something, like not like he was just there for something. Some other lady ran into him in an elevator. She was like, my husband was dying or whatever. I'm like, damn, you're DMX. He's like, yeah. And she's like, and she starts crying. He's like, are you okay? Gave her a hug in the elevator. Like that's not the persona that he presented, right? But he was clearly a really good dude. So
yeah, he was. I mean, he was a guy that he internalized. Well, I guess he didn't internalize because he was transparent about it. But like his problems were his problems. You know what I mean? And he brought you into those worlds. But like when you saw him, if I'm not mistaken, I think his was it his mentor, the older white dude that. I think he has like a huge ranch out in.
Well, yeah, he used to be out here. DMX used to come out here when he wanted to get away from all the stuff.
And he would just ride his 4-wheelers.
I met him.
He got speeding tickets out here. I remember that.
Yeah.
Hey, I seen an interview that we were talking about coming out here. He was like, man, he loves it out here.
He loves it.
But he get in trouble out here.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You can see say like Phoenix Cross Streets in like one of his songs. Like they actually named it in the song.
Yeah.
Third verse, he's like 38 from Broadway, let me get the gap.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like 38 from Broadway. So I'm like, wow.
Yeah, no, he loved it out here, man. It's sad, man.
I wish I could get back into my MySpace account because when I did those videos, it was before all social media was like what it is now, and I was
You got tech guys here.
I was
You got
recording I was recording the conversation he was having at the time.
Oh no.
And so I have video. I know it's on my mind because I remember I wasn't supposed to be recording.
Yeah.
And I was just holding my phone like this while they was talking. Cause I think it was like a reporter and someone else and him and Swiss Beats and whatever. And I'm like, man, if I could just get that back, like, yo. But yeah, I had to go back and watch the video, and I was like, man, I remember all of this. And I remember telling people like, yo, DMX got this song coming out, Swiss Beats, this and that. And all the little girls in the video, I knew them and stuff. So it's like, I'm like, no, I sat on the bed first. He just got a camera time. That's the stand in life. You be like, oh, I'm on, okay, yeah, I look good. Yeah, I'm fresh. Yeah, okay, move out the way. Yeah, so, man, rest in peace, DMX. You know what I'm saying? I heard what's the name battle in his life, too. He looked, Black Rob.
For real?
Oh,
Black
my
Rob.
God.
Yeah.
What happened to him?
Yo, that looked crazy. If that's a real like footage that I saw, like
I couldn't even get past, like after 20 seconds, I was like, bro, this is too much.
Yeah.
He just is
He's
like,
sick.
Bro, he looked like, he probably 50, he looked like he's 90.
Yeah.
So
He's
I'm
like,
like,
I don't know who Black Rob is.
Well, no, I don't want to see the picture now.
Yeah, there's a couple interviews with him.
Was he like on drugs too or something?
I don't know. I haven't followed him since.
Yeah, like what?
I think that was
I
so no, yeah.
I mean, it looks like.
Was he special delivery too?
No, that's G.
That's G-Dep.
I wonder why they probably.
Cause they were like, yo, Black Rob in the hospital fighting. And I was looking, I was like, yo, what happened?
Like, well, yeah.
I don't know. I haven't.
I mean, dudes is looking old.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't know the story behind it. I just saw it. I was like, wow.
I saw IG.
That's that life, man. That the partying and drugs and
No, that's some recent video. But then I didn't know where if it was even recent.
Right.
Talk. But no, actually no. There was one he talked about his death. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, bro. I mean,
There's a couple videos surfacing of him, and he looks a little bit different.
That
like one he
picture
looks
right there,
skinnier,
bro.
and the other one he looks like a little bit more.
That
puffed
picture
up, but yeah,
crazy. That was a picture I saw that I was like, nah.
Black Rob does.
Yeah, Black Rob does.
Let's talk about DMX.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that about him dying. He was like barely even talking. His eyes weren't even open. Like he was like, man, DMX. Like it was sad. And I was like, damn, him too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild stuff.
Yeah.
What you got over there, Ernest? Nothing?
Oh, Black Rod.
Freddie B wanted to see. Why you keeping a token out?
I just passed the
It was Chad didn't pass it over.
Oh yeah, that sounds about right.
Hey, chat back.
Him
He got the
like-
vaccine.
Yeah, he ain't passing you nothing, young vaccine man.
I can't believe you went and got the vaccine, man. Here.
Ready to get in line for the dude.
I'm really praying for you.
Yeah.
And he's probably he ain't that old.
No,
Man.
he ain't.
Can't be.
Maybe what, 40s?
May
I don't even
Ooh,
know
how old?
I mean, he ain't met
I put him 50s just to
I feel good about how I look.
There you
All of
go.
a sudden.
Yeah, I'm like, there gotta be a story to this.
Yeah, that's sad, man.
Man, I can't. Anyways, so
Yeah.
moving on in life.
Wait, I'm looking up how old he is.
Oh, you want to look up how old?
Yeah, Jesus.
50, 49.
50. Well, he's 51 right now. He'll be 52 this summer.
Yeah, bro. No.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy.
It's tough. Anyways, moving on. You had something, no?
So last week we didn't have a podcast because it was Easter.
Yeah, shout out to rabbits that lay eggs and shit.
But I came and sat out here by myself. Nobody wanted. I just sat in here.
You could have turned
I
it
just
on.
turned the ring light on. I just said,
Yo, that would have been mad funny if he started,
You
the
would've said
podcast on his own. Yeah, he just started. So, what's up, everybody?
y'all want to talk
Since
about
me,
it?
y'all wanna talk
Nobody
about
wants to talk about
This is
it.
Freddie B's corner. Welcome
Hey,
to
you should have just took one on and then just be like, hey, y'all want to talk about it? Happy Easter.
That's right.
That would have been
you
hilarious.
want to join the Tokens podcast?
Right. Okay, but the week before, after we were done, we were in the kitchen,
Yeah.
and Dino told a story about how much he hates Ernest. And I was dying laughing about the food when you went to the Air Force tent.
Yo.
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell the story again for everybody? Because it was hilarious, and Ernest doesn't even feel bad. Look at his smile. He's like,
Don't feel bad.
Ernest doesn't feel bad at all.
I wouldn't have felt bad either, man. Nah, I was just saying that, like, the difference between the different branches of service, right? And the quality of life that they get. So, like, in Afghanistan, you know what I mean? The army, like, don't get me wrong, like, don't believe the hype. Like, you do it for some people, you do get to eat good. You know what I mean? Depending if you have a defag, if you're in a post, like an outpost, then yeah, you don't eat that good or whatever. But yeah, man, I was just talking about how, like, you know, I'm over here eating nasty ass food and like the food just ain't that great, and you know what I mean, all processed. And then I had to, in between traveling to another location, we stopped at Bagram? Was it Bagram? Yeah, Bagram, which is like one of the main hubs. And then somebody told me about the air. They were like, yo, have you eaten at the Air Force defense? I'm like, nah. Like, they're like, yo, we gotta go. So like, first of all, you gotta like get like a vehicle to drive to the other side, which looks like heaven. You know what I mean, compared to where we're at. And like, I walk in and like, yo, literally as soon as you walked in, it was like a chocolate fondue fountain. Like just like, and it's like, yo, we busted in. And like everybody's like fine dining, and they got like you know what I mean, waiters and stuff coming around, and we all like looking like we haven't like taken a shower in months and stuff. And this is chocolate fondue, man. I'm like, yo, they really got chocolate fondue, and then they had a whole like it was like a ice cream thing, like you see at freaking Cold Stone.
Baskin and Robbins.
Yeah, Baskin and Robbins. Like, let's see what flavor you want. Take as much as you want, like this and that. And I'm like, yo, ain't this about a bit? Like, then you go to the chow line, and then like they all night, like you go to the army, man, and they like, what you want? You're like, yo, can I get 2 pieces? You get what you get. Next, and then they like, you go there, and it's like, hey, can I get, how much would you like? You want 2 steaks, 3, 4? How would you like? You want a fillet? We got you, no worries. Lobster? Not a problem. Like, walking away, and I was just like, yo, this ain't cool, man. I chose the wrong branch. I chose the wrong branch.
Look at Ernest. He's like,
I don't
yes, you
think it's
did.
no different because that's what we did.
And then I was telling you how, like, they get paid extra if they get stationed on an army base because it's below their standards. Assholes. Force. You know what I mean? I'm over here sleeping in ditches, and they got freaking 5-star hotels and stuff, man.
Hey, we got Wi-Fi.
They got keyless entry into their damn room, bro. I'm in a cardboard box.
But it's a tent. But it's like the highest grade tent you ever seen.
Like, yo, listen, y'all look up a GP medium tent. Okay, this thing is put together with like 2x4s, right? That's like rotten and like going, and it smells like ass. And it's literally like a big old tarp that we gotta put up, and then we gotta actually hammer down these stakes. It never fails. The shit always cracks down the middle, and the whole tent falls on everybody when you're sleeping. And there's about like 300 of us in this small little tent.
Wait, tell us about where you stayed at again.
Wait, let me cut you real quick. We had Xbox Live.
Xbox Live, bro. Like their tents are like these beautiful like round domes. with like AC. They got central
Like
AC in there. Yeah, they got a little dome home. They got a gym in it. Stadium
All we do
gym.
is go over there, get swole. Everybody come back like super swole. Cause like that's all you doing is playing Xbox and pretty much working out. That's
Are
like
you
So
flying
the moral
some
of the
planes
story
at some
is-
point?
nah.
They don't do nothing,
We don't
man.
fly planes. We got the pilots that do that. So
They don't
Well, I know
do
you
nothing.
don't personally
They
fly.
do
Yeah, so,
Nathaniel, nothing, nada.
Hey, I'm on the walkie-talkies just talking. Really. That's
We had to transport some of the dudes from one location to the other, and we had to dismount. And dude was like, "I'm not getting out." Why? I was authorized not to get out. I gotta stay in.
Yeah.
They get treated like royalty, man. So the moral of the story is, go join the Air Force if you want to join.
Wait,
The
what type
military.
of rifle you had?
Nah, I had an M4.
Okay, see, he had M4. I had a 9mm.
You know who gets
Glock
9
17.
millimeters? 9 millimeters? Officers. So they treated like officers.
Yeah.
We
Down
ride
to the
around
guns.
Yeah, bro.
Were you guys about the same rank? Pretty close? No?
I think so.
Staff sergeant?
Oh no. I made 5. That was about it. But I declined my 5. So I wanted to get out.
Well, it's still the same though. But it's a staff sergeant E5 in the Air Force.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So pretty much the same.
Same, yeah, about the same.
So the same, but he got all.
But he got an Xbox.
Yeah, he had an Xbox.
And
He
ice
got free
cream.
massages and ice cream.
Yeah.
I ain't getting no fucking ice cream.
I'm like, you get paid back
I'm a little angry about that. Yeah.
Hey, you know what?
Mad, huh?
Hey,
You wanna
know
talk
what?
about
Real talk. I was mad. Was one thing. That's why I'm against PlayStation. Cause I reached out to PlayStation when I was down there. I was like, hey man, we need some help out here. Like, give us something to like entertain ourselves. Yo, they wrote back and were like, we appreciate the service, but we don't support.
Yeah, we don't know you
the war,
like
this and
that.
No,
We
they
don't
were
like
like, we
you.
don't support the war. Blah blah blah. I was like. And then I emailed Xbox, and Xbox was like, cool, they sent us a whole bunch of stuff and games and everything. I was like, man. So that's why I boycott PlayStation. PlayStation sucking fart. They like the chair force. They don't do nothing.
But we had hate within the Air Force though. Cause
What
like,
y'all got to hate about?
Okay, listen.
Somebody AC
listen.
more colder than
Somebody
somebody
don't
else?
like the ice cream flavors.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I'm
He
a
got
niner. So I do all like, you know,
the tech
work,
stuff.
right? Tech stuff.
Nah, don't say
So-
work. Work is not in your vocabulary in the Air Force.
Mental work. So like, you know, people that did labor, they used to hate us.
Listen to how he talks about us.
No, I'm
People
just
that
saying.
did-
I wanna
those
hear this.
peasants.
Nah, they just
He's looking down his nose at you.
You're looking down at me when he's saying
nah, they
laborers.
just hey,
people
people
that
in
did
the Air
the
Force,
labor.
they call us niners. Cause like they claim we don't work, you know, so
Is it a true statement though?
I mean we work. But you know, we just don't do physical labor.
We don't partake with the peasants.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, people used to hate that.
Can you
I'm-
lift that chair over there?
Yeah,
No,
I'm like,
get
my
somebody from the army to
recognition
come over that
is
chair. That looks like it's heavy.
That's
I
right.
don't-
We ain't doing that.
I don't go outside.
You said, where they do that at?
He said, I don't even go outside. I don't even think you owned a dirty uniform, did you?
Not really. Hey, back at home, everything dry clean. My like ABU dry clean. Like
See what I'm talking about?
blues. I
He
wear
just rubbing
blues
it in
during
at this
the week.
point.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Rubbing it in.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's how it is. That's just how it is. So.
Yeah, I know that now.
Right.
Yeah, just go in the Air Force.
Who?
You.
Actually, I did try to go, but there again, the only branch of the service that can like handpick who they want in. So I didn't get in because I had too many speeding tickets, too many racing tickets.
Oh, so this was your fault.
That ain't my fault.
My thing was like, look, we all get paid the same, right? You get paid by rank.
The army like welfare. They just
So
take
I'm
everybody.
like, why would I do physical labor? So I took the admin job. You know, hey.
But did you know that before you enlisted?
Yeah, my test school was 4 weeks. Once I saw that, I was like, okay, I'm on a computer. I'm already computer savvy. Anything they could teach me in 4 weeks, it gotta be easy. This gotta be an easy job. Like on a computer, and it only take 4 weeks to do my whole job.
Facts.
My test school was 4 weeks.
Bro, my tech school was 6 months.
Damn.
That's what I'm saying.
And I swear, I swear I
But
had blue screen of death, bro.
He probably fell for the bonus though.
They
He
give me
did.
bonus.
He said that.
They
He
got
said,
me
man,
for
they
the
took
bonus.
What is it?
I had 40 G's when I signed.
Yeah, that
And
means
what is
40
your?
G's.
You didn't.
I ain't get nothing. Me, I was like 4
But
weeks.
he got a chocolate fountain.
Hey, I was like 4 weeks. Like on the admin in 4 weeks, to me, that was like super easy. I'm gonna just be on the computer.
But if you re-enlist, Don't you get a sign-on bonus?
Not always. It depends on the time frame. Like,
And it
if you're in
depends
a
on the job
peacetime,
title.
the job
'Cause,
title.
like, they trying to make incentives for more people to like
Yeah.
be in that career field.
Okay.
So like when a new career, like for example, when I was in the UAV, pilots and mechanics came about, and so like that was a way, like if you want to rank up quick and you're already in, then you're like, all right, I'll change MOSs and go there. And so then you go and then like they'll do incentives where they're like, okay, maybe we'll give you $5,000, but you also get an instant promotion. So like, you know what I mean, depending on if you have the certain status to go or whatever. So it's all based on the job and everything that you know what I mean, whatever your job title is. So like my job, like I was a missile technician, so I worked a lot with circuit cards and stuff like that. And at the time, it was like legit because they were actually using the TOW missiles. The TOW 2 missile, the system that I worked on that was the system that took down, I think it was Saddam's sons. There's like a video, like they annihilate the building. So that was the stuff that I worked on. So at the time when I went in, they were trying to get more people. So that's how I got the bonus. But then it started becoming obsolete because the rules of engagement started changing. So they weren't using TOW missiles anymore and stuff
Then
like
they
that.
glorified the job titles.
Bro, my job title. So originally when I joined, because I wanted to go to the Marine Corps, my brother-in-law stopped that and was like, yo, I love being a jarhead, whatever, but go get a job that like you can transition into the civilian world, right? Think in the future. So I was like, all right. So then I went Air Force. That didn't work out. The dude, I knew a guy in the Navy. He was a recruiter. He got me to take the ASVAB test and then like hooked me up. So I had like a high score. But then when I found out that the Army was giving the bonus, and then I told him my ASVAB score, he was like, oh yeah, you can get whatever you want. So initially I was gonna go to become a Black Hawk mechanic, because then those guys get to become crew chiefs, the gunners. So I was looking at that. I was like, how can I get into like a small tactical unit and eventually work my way up into like SF or Ranger or something like that. But that didn't play out. So then they pitched the video, boy, they sit you in a room and they're like, watch this video, VHS, the military comes on and then it's like, and it's like, do you want to be part of the most elite? And they play this whole video, so you get sucked out. I'm like, yo, I get to be with the infantry, I get to be with the Cash Scout, and work with Delta Force. No, man, I'm so live. Boy, I got to my unit, man, I didn't do nothing. I didn't touch none of that stuff, bro. I lived in the field, digging trenches and stupid stuff.
You need a hug, man.
Yep, like they were eating chocolate ice cream.
I'm bad for you, though. That's some bullshit, right?
Think about that, man.
Yeah.
The speeding tickets, though, that's what did it.
Yeah, it's all about
That was the
speeding
consequence of the
tickets.
speeding ticket.
Hey, it was worth every speeding ticket, man.
Anyway, we're gonna move on. I don't know if you saw this. We're gonna find out. What's today? The 10th?
11.
11?
No.
Oh, today they were supposed to have a White Lives Matter protest. Did you see that?
I just saw a headline that they were doing it in San Diego, right?
There's about 16 states.
What's wrong with people?
Yeah, no, nobody else saw that.
I heard something about that.
No.
This goes back to, I'm like, man, we can't have nothing.
White Lives Matter.
We have this conversation all the time. We can't have
Well,
nothing.
we know it matters.
I mean, it's proven that it matters. So I'm like, what are y'all protesting?
Right.
Like, what is the protest about then? Like, I don't understand.
Did y'all see that officer?
I don't understand.
The lieutenant?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you this. I saw it and I didn't because I refused to watch the video. I'm like, nope. This is gonna make me angry.
Well, see, like, what's funny is for me, when I saw that, I immediately was like, I expected it. It was only a matter of time. Think about it, man. Like, you look at the way things are and the way media is, and like, it was only a matter of time. Things were too quiet, right? And to an extent, when you think about it. And so it's like, how do we incite, you know what I'm saying, more hatred, more this and that? We got to get media footage. Bro, it was only a matter of time before they go. That's like the cream of the cream that you could go for, bro. You do something like that to a military service member and not that a lieutenant. You know what I mean? Like, so. But apparently he's trying to sue the police department. I mean that, bro. Like that. I don't know, man.
Let me guess. The police dude feared for his life.
I didn't see the whole video. Not that it matters, but like. All they show is like the clip is just the start of it, and then they're just like, yo, get out of the car. He's just like being mad hostile, and I'm like, yo, this dude is a military guy. Like, he's got the same, he's got better training than you do. Like, there's no, like, this dude is not about to spaz out and, you know what I mean? Like, do whatever. And if he was, you probably would have happened before you even realized it. Like, so, you know what I'm
If
saying?
you want to do something, you'd be dead. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
You watch like from 8 different angles, right?
Yeah, I read a couple of my articles. It's just the dude didn't want to stop because it was in like a dark area. So he just kept driving just like normal.
Right.
To the article.
Which you're allowed to do.
Yeah, and then no speeding, no nothing. They were trying to pull him over because he didn't have plates, but he had a temp tag. So I don't know if they couldn't see it or whatever, if the windows were tinted or not. I don't know. They didn't say. But he just bought the car. So anyways, he just kept going like a mile, then pulled over into wherever the gas station or wherever it was well lit. And then he recorded himself. So he pushed record and put it on the dash. So you could see it from like that angle. The officer's body cam, and then the dash cam of the cop car thing. And so I saw this one where they were like showing like all the angles, and the whole time he was like this, just calm, everything. And they were like, "What are you doing? Like, why are you wanting me to get out the car? You can't do that. Like, why do I have to get out the car for? You know why? You know." He just kept questioning them, but he was like super calm. And the officer, I mean, he was just like going in on him, man. And then they even show the officer like literally like from me to you. Going, he put his gun down, he undid his thing, he was trying to get his mace, and then he just maced him. Like that. But then this is the thing, this is what made me mad, really mad. It's just like, he maced him, and then he told him to get out the car. Unbuckle yourself and get out the car. You know, I'm like, so you want this guy to reach down.
Right.
You know, like this, just to give you an excuse to
knowing that he can't,
you know what I'm
like
saying?
that,
Like,
that's just, being blind and trying, you're gonna
after
reach.
that, I just kind of just stopped. Like, I was like, man.
They didn't kill him or nothing, did they? Like, what?
No, he got out, but he opened the door, but then he was still buckled in, but he was still like, you know, and then at the end, he just started like crying and basically was just pleading, like, why are you guys doing this? I don't understand. Like, So, and then
his like partner, you could tell the partner was scared of the officer. You see what I'm saying? So like,
Whose partner?
Oh, the cop. So like, there was two cops. Right. There's like two cops, and then like one cop was like real nervous. You could just tell, and then he like you could tell he didn't agree with what the cop was doing. So that got me too.
That's the tough part, man. That like I always think about that, man. Like being put in that predicament, right? And you know that it's wrong. But like maybe he's a superior, right? Which with him approaching the vehicle, 9 times out of 10, he probably is the superior, right? So then you run into the unspoken thing that happens in any system that has uniform like that, right? Which is you know, we call it Blue Falcon in the Army, but it's like, you know, do you go against your battle buddy, right? And then if you do, now you got a whole nother world of shit to deal with. You know what I mean? And things that you with you 24/7. So now you put in this predicament where you like, yo, man, like. You can't challenge this guy, even though you want to, but then you're processing in your head, if I challenge this dude, I'm about to have to go up against the entire Blue Force. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna gun at him.
It's just, I don't know, man. It's crazy because even the cop was like, he was using his authority as like, you know, like he was superior. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he even told the guy was like, I'm afraid. Like, I don't want to get out the car. He's like, you should be afraid. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
he was on 10.
So I don't know.
That's a guy. I bet you that's an officer that didn't make it into the military.
Yeah. It was
because you get that a lot, right? Like you get that a lot where
they go another route.
They go another route because they couldn't get in, right, for whatever reason. Or a lot of times you'll get cops that don't make it in the police department. They join the military, and then they quickly rank up so that they can have that authority. Because the same stuff that you guys see that's happening on social media and all that stuff happens in the military.
Sure.
You know what I mean? We joke and everything like that, but the reality of it is like, I know that he deals with a lot of stuff that like, I knew, like, for me, I never wanted to become an officer. Because I remember the first time I walked in and seen a colonel, I mean, just like completely like, you piece of shit, like you ain't nothing in this world. Like, and I'm just thinking to myself like, yo, there's no way. Ain't no rank, ain't no uniform, ain't no flag, and I let another man talk to me to that extent. Like, you know what I mean? So it happens, man. It's that authority, that power trip. Like you said, you should be afraid. Afraid of what? Right. Bro, I'm defending this country for you. Like,
well, yeah, that's the brainwash side of
what.
That's a whole nother level. I don't know.
We were talking about it earlier, and I said, first of all, it should be allowed. You should be allowed. It doesn't matter what the situation is, who you are, what. If a cop tries to pull you over and you don't feel like it's a safe spot, you should be able to call 911 and say, listen, there's a cop behind me. I'm not running. I don't feel safe pulling over here. Here's all my ID. Here's everything. I'm going to this gas station. And they can call a cop and be like, he ain't running. Follow him to the gas station. That should be perfectly allowed. And the cops should want that because they don't want you getting out in the middle of a dark road either, right? That's what bad shit happens to them too. So I would think that, I mean, I know that that's not what happened here, but if that was something that everybody knew to do in that situation, that would have diffused it.
And that's something for, I don't know, whatever. I don't know if in the middle, that we're taught that.
Yeah.
Yo, if you get, hey, you about to get your driver's license. Here, remember I already told you guys about the talks.
Right.
Yo, if you get pulled over somewhere dark, go to somewhere light.
Yeah.
So this dude is doing something that's just normal, like, hey, I just want to be somewhere where there's lights, so there ain't no confusion, no whatever.
Right.
And now you dealing with LDE over here who get out and want to prove a point that I'm more superior or I'm like.
Yeah.
And in that time that he drove a mile, I mean, they could have called the base, they could have called, you said it's a small town,
like
right?
2,700 people.
Yeah.
Right, and a military base. So, I mean, they could have found out who he was. They would have known everything. It's not like he was going anywhere, right?
Yeah.
They probably could have figured out it was a brand new car in the time it took to drive the mile to the gas station or whatever, right? So
He just wanted to use that power.
Yeah.
Well, it registers, if I'm not mistaken, I think when you're military active duty, I think you get, isn't it like tagged, I think, in the police system or something like that? Like that,
Well,
there's
you
like a
gotta,
certain code or something?
like sign up for it though.
Okay,
You
yeah.
gotta provide paperwork. Well, a lot of
Because I know a lot of them, like if they pull it up, like it'll.
But a lot of
it'll be
people,
like
they don't really get the place yet.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
It's like once you get out, you kind of do it.
Yeah.
Because I never had veteran plates on. Like
No, I wasn't saying veteran, but I always thought that in the system and like the data, like it shows that you're in active duty, like on your, like a code or something.
Yeah,
I
I think you had to provide it though.
That makes sense.
but even still, they could have figured it out.
No, for sure. I'm not. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
he
not
had,
justifying
exactly.
at
He
all,
had the
but-
old uniform on.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, I know we're trying to talk about positive change, right?
Yeah.
So, I was wrong, I said Massachusetts, it was Maryland. State of Maryland passed this week a bunch of police reform laws, right? Additional training for all officers. They got rid of, I don't know exactly what they call it. I had it on my phone earlier, but so to make it easier to sue an officer who does something like that, because in a lot of states you're not allowed to sue. So now they're trying to make that happen. So once that, I mean, I hate I'm gonna sue you culture in this country. That's kind of bad too, but that's gonna solve a lot of those problems, right? Right? Because
If you can hit someone's pockets,
Right,
maybe. I think some people are just evil at the end of the day, like.
But those people aren't going to get the jobs anymore. If they're going to cost my department $2 million in whatever, right? They're not going to get hired. They're going to be out because you're going to have to hire people who aren't going to break those kinds of rules, and they're going to have to go through extra training, and all that stuff's going to happen. So, I mean, I realize it's not like it's baby steps, right? But it's steps in the right direction.
I mean, I can see that being a benefit. Like if you're a cop, if they make it to where like if you're a cop, like and somebody sues you, like it's on you. Like the department kind of just that's on. You know what I mean? Because that's how it is essentially in the military. Like if you pull the trigger if you want to. Military gonna be like, we didn't authorize that. We didn't have that. And now you going to court on your own.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like so.
It's like that in nightlife too. If you do security,
Right.
And it's helping.
Yeah,
Like
like
that
that
for
for
one
the
person.
It's like
It's
that
like
for
we're not
everyone.
helping you.
Yeah.
But it's not like that for the police, right? For the police, they're complete, right? So that's how it is.
And that's the thing.
They
Is
still
he just brought
do
up the good point too. Like for us, like if I shoot somebody, let's say it's a civilian thing, or whatever, then I gotta deal with two cases. I gotta deal with the military, right? And then whatever the outcome is of that. And then if there was something that was in the civilian sector, I gotta serve. Let's say something happens and I get jail time or something. I would have to serve that sentence, and then when that's done, then I have to serve my military sentence. Which then when that's done, I still have to ride out my contract time. Like it's, you know what I mean? So I think if it was something to that degree, again, like I said, last time we spoke, until the consequences outweigh the actions taken, I don't think we're gonna see any changes. But the hope, right, is that, with something like that, it starts making these people realize where it's like, yo, like you go ahead and pull that trigger if you want to. I'm not telling you don't be smart, and you know what I mean? Because we all know there's not, there's good and bad people, but for somebody like that, like, or like that officer, his partner, you know what I mean? Who's like, yo, I'm not trying to, you know what I mean? The video clearly shows like he ain't doing nothing, because that's the other angle. They always say, why didn't you step in? Come on, bro. Like, is that really a question you're gonna ask? Like,
but Maryland and New York had already passed something similar. The article reading said 24 states have passed some kind of police reform bills since basically since George Floyd, right?
Mm.
So, progress. I know it doesn't help this poor dude in wherever he was, whatever small town he was in. I know it doesn't help that guy.
Virginia.
He was in Virginia. But progress, man. We gotta try to do a little bit of progress.
It was in Hampton. What?
Some small
He said
town.
they said ain't nothing changed.
Yeah, so that's that.
Anyways, we're gonna move on.
We'll be right back.
Yeah, Freddie B will be back to the next part of the podcast called Where They Do That At. And this ain't gonna be nothing crazy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I know Grip's like, what? It's been a while. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I'll be on the vegan side of the game and I don't push that on nobody, but y'all be trying vegan stuff and
It's
that.
working.
But I said this one time, I was like, man, they need to have a vegan sports bar.
You have
I
said
have said that.
Yeah.
So
He did.
not sports per se, but in Vegas they're gonna open a vegan bar in Las
That's
Vegas.
dope.
That is dope.
And
That's
so
dope.
you can still do all the things and gamble and whatever. Vegan food, vegan alcohol, which I didn't know was even a thing.
That is
But,
bad. I would never thought
I
of
think that wave is coming
It's
where
trending,
more
yeah, that
people
way,
yeah.
are. You said that was trending?
I said I think it's trending that way because
I think he sounds like a vegan.
everything went gluten free all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Now,
It's like
yeah.
the 1942.
I think things are gonna be.
So,
Are you
and-
plant-based or vegan as well? Or no?
No, he's just a beast.
Yeah.
With it. So I brought y'all finally.
Oh!
Oh, now they like your boy. You know what I'm saying? When I said
No,
vegan
no.
bar bakes, they like, yeah.
It's been like what, 3 years you've been talking about this ice cream season.
Oh, okay, vegan
You know what it
bar.
was?
So what,
Every time he said he was gonna bring 'em,
Kenyatta?
he
Where
ate
you
'em.
get your protein from? We don't care.
Uh-huh.
Move on.
Right.
Then I'll bring them something to try. Oh!
Nah, you been
Hydrocolonic.
hiding out the ice cream. That's what it is.
So you got, Freddie B's gonna read it. Just make sure, because maybe they snuck some milk in here somewhere. What?
I'm just making sure it's not the animal-free dairy or whatever that shit was.
This shit that you created
I didn't, like I was in the lab making that stuff?
is non-GMO.
I don't know what that means. I think it's good.
Genetically modified
I mean,
organisms.
I know, yeah, I understand, I know what non-GMO means.
Anyways, regular, like the ice cream sandwich, you know, and the key lime is my favorite. There's another one too, but
The salted caramel ones, 'cause we had those somewhere else, were really good. You had those, I don't remember where we were. Like
at
Anna Montana
Irene's
ate the
house.
whole
At
thing.
Irene's house.
Oh, is that right? Anna Montana ate the whole thing, she's
Yeah.
like, don't chuck me down, I'm eating that.
So there's only like 4 in there, so y'all gotta figure it out.
Oh, we're
Split
taking
it
that
out.
off.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
we eat
want you
snacks
to-
on this show.
Yeah, that's what we do.
I thought this
You
was
want this
pasta.
one, the lime one?
I thought it was pasta.
He thought it was pasta.
No, it's an ice cream sandwich, man.
Nah, bro. So I've been on these. So I haven't brought them. I've been talking about it for a while because I usually end up eating them by myself. So
Your inner fat child.
my inner fat child is in there like, hey, A-Rap one day.
Oh, the climax.
So like ice cream or no?
See, that be messing my mind up, yo. This for ice cream, yo. Ain't got no milk.
Bro, this some bullshit.
No fire.
That's how he gets you, you know? That's how he gets
It
you.
works every
This
time.
was the one thing, I ain't gonna lie, this is the one thing that I didn't think you could turn me on.
But you ain't
Really?
eat it like you used to eat it when you were little, though.
Hey, that's throwback. Yeah, this was the one thing I didn't think you could convince me that would be.
Really, man?
I've tried so many different brands, and they're like too chalky or they're too like the texture or whatever. But this is something special.
You got the regular, huh?
Yeah.
I'm looking for the milk in here, because this ain't.
The consistent,
Oh my god.
It say vitamin D.
What?
Bro, that's in
That's from the sunshine.
I'm talking about.
He's talking about vitamin. My milk is vitamin D.
this is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, the key lime one's my favorite. I like them all, but
How many flavors they got?
3.
Where'd you get
They
it?
make the popsicles on a stick too. I got Sprouts has them and Natural Grocers has them. But I just came across them on accident, and then I was like, I'm on. But I mainly only get those ones.
Yo, this is, yeah.
So I have the ones y'all are eating. I haven't even tried. But this one I do because it's got a certified vegan on it.
Oh.
Wait, this one you didn't try this one?
I didn't try that one. Cause it just says dairy free, but I don't see the cert. They not certified.
Yeah,
They
this
ain't
one real.
certified yet.
This one real.
You know what I mean? So
Well, but the caramel ones were certified vegan too, right?
yeah, so I buy those too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Anna Montana took a bite. She's like, "Don't."
Let me see that box.
Like, don't tell me. You gonna pass me?
No, yeah.
Well, yeah, so for all y'all at home trying to transition, the whole reason why I do this is to show y'all that there's other stuff out there. Maybe you are lactose intolerant. We already had that conversation, so we're not gonna go down that road. And you need an alternative. You need something better so you don't got to be Jeezy. You know what I mean? That's bubble guts for anybody who don't know. You know what I mean? Or maybe you don't get swollen after you eat some dairy stuff. So
So
if
this
you
one
like ice
says-
cream sandwiches, the summertime is coming, it's hot. I got other ice cream options too.
So this one says certified by organic.
That's so delicious.
Certified organic by organic.
So Delicious makes
certified.
good stuff.
Hey, they got that oat milk,
The oat milk, yep.
like vanilla bean. Like,
Yeah. I'm gonna make a root beer float with that one.
man.
What?
Manufactured on shared equipment with milk, eggs, peanuts, and other
This
treats.
one says the
Yeah,
same
they
thing.
have to put that on there, bro. But I see you reaching.
I mean, it tastes good. It don't taste good as Arby's milkshakes. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my
Of all the ice cream you bring.
What is
Arby's-
wrong with him?
Yeah.
Where y'all get this dude from?
They gonna
Why are you so?
sponsor you,
No, they not.
You can get
They gonna sponsor you and be like, "Here go 2 cents," because we ain't making no money.
Yo, this is crazy. That's good.
Arby's, get out of here.
Made with real vanilla bean and delicious chocolate whipped cream.
Man, handle that. They got some stuff on the popsicle too. Oh, that's the salted caramel one right there.
I mean, more or less.
Yeah,
Man, it's too.
man, too bad. So while they devour this vegan stuff that they don't like,
Man, don't be blasting us
I
like we don't like it.
love y'all. Y'all,
We just ain't educated. That's all it is.
I'm gonna say this. I'm
No, I'm good.
yeah.
Chad wasn't here the night we did the chips, but
Huh?
remember we ate the, like 3 bags of chips.
I-
Yeah, the key lime is fire, bro.
Fire.
That's why when y'all went with that one, I was like, oh, okay, wait till they get this key lime though. Hold up, screw. Switch it. Oh yeah, this key lime is fire.
Bruh.
I know.
Chad
It
didn't
tastes,
eat
it
for
tastes
the
better
next
than your
hour.
next ex-wife. You feel me?
I'm gonna have to book with Liz again.
You go,
It's really good for kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, anyways,
Yo, shout out.
moving on. Oh, shout out. You want to shout out them?
Nah, I was just saying, these are shout out to the This is good, bro.
There you go. Add that to your arsenal. That's what we do. See, I be caring about my people. I'll be like, listen, you don't gotta just eat salad. It's the whole point. And I'm like, yo, I'm bring y'all snacks so y'all understand that it's out there. You know what I mean?
This is why there's fat vegans. Is because
Oh,
I mean, you can
They
eat
was
that.
fat before they was vegan.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying if you can eat those and you
The
can eat
beans
the M&Ms and whatever those things are called
And the Oreos.
and the
The
Oreos.
Oreos.
Yeah, my disclaimer, I didn't say you won't be fat.
Right. You just won't.
I just
yeah.
said you
You'll
won't
just
be
feel
bloated.
better about it.
Have you had
You'll
the
be a
Oreos?
lighter fat.
Like Oreos, dangerous, dog.
Hey, they'll be lighter fatter.
Hey,
Right.
drop
That's
us
kind of like a false
some
positive.
milk.
It's the same thing. A lighter
I'm about
fat.
to make some bomb French Oreo French toast with the back.
They over here plotting. What the hell's going on? Hell's
That
Kitchen.
sound good. I think oat milk.
Oreo
is
French
good.
toast.
Yeah,
Oat milk is
no,
fire.
So I found.
That's
So I
the
drink.
milk.
I
It's
drink
like
oat
you
milk.
can't taste nothing else.
No, I drink. Yeah, I drink the. So actually, one of my the other barber's clients, good friend Art, he works for Oat Life. He's like a district manager for them. So he was the one that started telling me about it. He's like, yo, you gotta try these guys out. Their ice cream is really good. Their whatever, and then so they got like a coffee creamer, and then they got the oat milk. So I drink the oat milk, but I found this recipe for Oreo cream French toast. So then immediately I was like, yo, I can get the back to basic Oreos, the plant-based Oreo joints, and then you just use the Oat Life milk,
See?
and then you basically like crumble the Oreos, and then you put them aside, you put a little bit of the oat milk, and then you throw the Oreos in it, and then you just lightly like blend it, so like keep it to where it's white, so that if it turns gray, then it's like you blended it too much. Then you let that sit, and then you just take your French toast, pour it on top, bro. I'll show you the video after.
Maybe you invite us to your house one day. Whatever.
Hey, you know what? I still got time because it took you about 6 years to bring me.
Nah,
so
bro. That don't even equate to your housewarming?
When's your housewarming?
Yeah, good question.
So I ain't got no furniture. What y'all want to do? Sit on the floor?
Yeah, that's fine. I'll bring my own chair.
All right,
Bro, we moved furniture in there. What you talking about, Willis? We helped you move. Who you talking to?
You broke furniture.
I did break one of the couches, but you can still sit on it. It had a warranty, I think.
Yeah, bro, that was funny story about that is we're in the
Ain't
truck.
funny.
We're in the truck.
Nah, it ain't funny.
It's coming in the back, right?
No, it
we're
wasn't.
trying to load it, so I hopped over, right?
You had me
big old
stuck in
behind.
the corner.
I hopped over and jumped over everything, right? Hercules over
He
here.
jumped over everything.
I did. Did I not? Because you did the same thing, and guess what happened? Hercules over there goes to hop over the thing, and all you hear is and just breaks the whole back frame of the couch, and then he just stops and goes. He's like, "I'll take care of it." I was like, "Bro, you good, man?" He felt bad.
I felt bad, but I still feel bad.
I give him shit for it.
Yeah, bro.
I ain't worried about it. Warranty will
I
cover
was
it.
like, in the wood, just. I felt like them dudes that do this.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely.
So I felt strong, but it was for
It could be like a BYOC, bring your own chair.
That's right. We got lawn chairs.
I like it.
You know what I'm
We'll do
saying?
something.
Turn to the dance floor.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Jump in the pool.
We're gonna get on this last topic real quick, I guess. And this is more personal to me, but I don't know how many of y'all watch wrestling. I said this to them earlier today.
I was waiting for this
You know what I'm saying? And I told them I would tell the story. So I know a guy who's in the WWE, and he was in. So back in the day, we both worked at Club Mansion together in Miami. And back then, it was like you would work with people, but you ain't know them like that unless you just clicked with them or whatever. So he used to be just, we be throwing people out in the back alley, like whatever. And one day he was like, "Hey," he always called me Banks. He never called me by my first name. He was like, "Banks, meet me in the office." And usually somebody tell you to meet him in the office, some shit's about to go down. And I'm like, this dude do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'm just trying to get through college. I don't know why he want me to come in the office, but I'm like, here we go. You know what I'm saying? So I go in the office. I'm like, fuck. He's like, close the door. I'm like, oh, this is gonna suck. All right. He's like, have a seat. And he sits down. I'm like, what? He's like, here. And he slides over this DVD, like a case. It was like, and there's like people on the front. And he's one of the people. And he's like, I wrestle underground. My underground wrestling name is Antonio Banks. And I was like, and I'm just sitting there like oh, why you telling me that? You want me to buy a DVD for it? So he's like, no. And he pulls out this piece of paper. And this paper got writing all over it. Like every piece of the paper, front, back, up, and on the side. I'm like, he goes, I have to present this to the I think it was WWF at the time.
Yeah.
This is like probably 2006, 7. It's like, I present this to the WWE, and I got 3 characters, but I don't know which one to present. So I'm gonna just go through the 3 characters, and he was like, I know you're in school and you're smart, like, you tell me. So I'm like, first of all, that's a lot of damn pressure, but okay.
But you're not gonna beat my ass right now.
Right, but I'm not getting my ass whooped, so it's a good trade-off, sir.
Yeah, you're like, wait, are you gonna punch me? No, fine, whatever you need.
Whatever.
Just to clarify, this is
And
what
so
we're
he
talking
breaks off in all 3 characters, bam, bam, bam. And I'm like, to watch someone change on the spot, I was like, oh, I said, listen, man, I don't remember what order it was, but I'm like, it was the second one. And he's like, what? I'm like, man, there's nobody like that in wrestling. Everything you just said, when that character was so different from anything I ever seen. So he's like, all right, Banks, like, appreciate it, whatever, done. I don't know, maybe 2-3 months later. I would always sleep from like 4 to 8 before I went to the nightlife. And I'm on the couch, just knocked out. And then all I hear on TV is like Friday Night SmackDown. And it's like, from Miami, Florida, making a debut appearance, Montel Vontavious Porter, AKA MVP. And I think I'm dreaming. I'm like, what is this fool in my dream? This is stupid. And I open my eyes and he comes out, he got the music, and I'm like, oh, this month, he made it. Now, he got a whole backstory with the prison. Like, there's a lot, right? In that nightlife, we were always told we were going to be nothing. Like, daily, or nightly. multiple times a night. Like, you ain't shit, you just security, you ain't nobody, from people, from owners, all the way down, right? So I hit him like, bro, you made it, man. It was hella funny. He's like, yeah, he's like, yeah, I mean, I made it, but I'm sitting in coach on this plane in Dallas. He's like, so I ain't doing that. But so then I went from not watching wrestling, because I stopped after like around the Stone Cold Rock, right? I stopped. And then I went back just to be support, right? But they booing him, he trash, he getting whooped on, but he cocky. And that was part of his thing, was like the chains. He used to do this, his special move, he would bounce off the rope, kind of like Crip Walk, and be like, ballin', and then drop an elbow, like everything was something, right? And then the genius in him kicked in where, you know, we worked in one of the hottest clubs, and like rappers talk, I mean, it's crazy to think back now, like what that was. And so then he created a VIP lounge on the WWE where he had in the ring couches, bottle service, and he would interview Ric Flair and all these people and talk. He'd be suited and booted, right? So anyways, fast forward, well, no, I'm gonna go back. So then like a year or so later, now he's like tag team champion, United States champion. He now everyone loves him. And he comes back to the beach. And I'm still doing security, checking IDs. So my ego side was like, damn, I'm still here. This is embarrassing. That's what I'm telling myself, like, this is embarrassing. And he pulled, I knew it was him as soon as the car pulled. I said, man, that's him. He got out, suit, 305, MVP chain, the whole nine. And I'm like, damn. But I'm like happy for him. And all these people outside, they're like, can we take a picture of this and that? And then I was like, Banks! And he's like, yo! And he comes out, daps me up, had $100 in his hand, which was a lot of money in there, right? $100. And he was like, listen, if I can make it, you can make it. He's like, just remember that. And this is what he told my enemy. He went inside, and then like Mark Henry came, who's bigger than the house, and Batista, and I was just like, these motherfuckers is stupid big. Like, y'all can't do nothing else but wrestle. Like, so anyway, so then there was that. And then somewhere in there, he just disappeared out the WWE. And I was like sad about it. Like, there was no exit, there was no retirement, but then I followed him on Instagram. And it's like, you know, Banks, and he said, yeah. So then he started doing wrestling in Japan, started a podcast, doing a thing, whatever. And then recently, he comes back to the WWE. But like, now it's him and, I don't remember the dude's name, this big old, like they call it the Hurt Business. It's him and three dudes, and three brothers, they all huge. And he's like their manager, but he still fights from time to time. And so yesterday was WrestleMania, whatever number they on, who knows, 500,000. And his protege won the whole, like the championship or whatever. And so I just came across a post where I was like, yo, he did that, right? And so I went on the post and I was like, Banks, and I wrote in capital, like, Banks, you did the damn thing. And then he wrote me back, like, yeah, we came a long way since the mansion days. And I, no bullshit, I ain't trying to be whatever, I literally teared up. Like, yo, that's crazy, because I know the journey and I watched it, but I have my own. Right. And it was like, I couldn't even help it. I was just like, oh shit, like, wow. And that was it. So I say all that to say, like, I love to see my people be successful in whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? And that was just like, I mean, this dude's older than, like, I just watched this whole thing. Yeah. And I'm like, that's crazy, from sitting in this office with a piece of paper from an idea to now you're like, and now he's gonna be in there longer because he's like the manager. Right. And he's like, okay, I'm sending the goons. Right. And they just like, they gonna be like the Lakers or the Brooklyn Nets, like they gonna be around. These dudes ain't going nowhere. And it's just, I don't know, that for me was just like, wow, it was like memory lane, exciting. And that's how I feel to some degree about our circle. And me and him could go through a similar story as far as fitness and whatever. And this is why I be saying collaboration over competition, because I don't see it that way. And when I see someone do that,
Yeah.
when he could have just faded to black, like, yo, I'm in Japan, now I'm back on the whatever circuit, to come back and be on top of the game, he gotta be, I don't know, I mean, probably look it up. He probably mid-50s. And so he didn't even get his break until
Later in life.
I mean, he was probably in his early 40s when it first popped off. And so, anyways, so yeah, shout out to MVP Montel Vontae Porter, aka Antonio Banks. Everybody not gonna know that.
You remember when he popped in one of your lives?
That's right, he did pop in one of my lives.
Back at the beginning of quarantine, when nobody knew what we were doing, you were doing Instagram Live every day.
Yeah.
You were teaching right here, and all of a sudden he was like Banks in a comment, and you were like,
I was like, oh yeah, I'm like, that's my boy.
That's
Like,
right.
yo.
You told us the whole story later after we finished that workout. But
Yeah, that makes me like I'm like, yo, that's
It's crazy to think that one decision that you made to like give him, you know what I mean? Because you could have been like, bro, you serious right now, man? I'm trying to go make money. Like, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah, you could've, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, think about that. Like that's.
fuck your paper.
You know what I mean?
Right,
Like
yeah.
in all reality, especially back then, right? Like, think about the time back then, bro.
Oh,
Grown man to come to you and be like, bro, I'm a wrestler. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's almost like here's my mixtape.
Right, like, yo, here's my
Right.
mixtape, right? Like, you could have been like, yo, for real, bro, yo, man, look, bro, number one, man, and just bounce, you know what I mean?
Right.
But the fact that you took it serious enough to be like, yo, the second one, you know what I'm saying? And then to see, like, that's crazy, man.
Well, he still thought he was going to get his ass kicked, so he
Yeah, I ain't
wasn't
gonna
getting up
lie.
out of the chair, right?
He would be leading the plan.
Yeah.
I was relieved after about the first minute. I was like, okay, this ain't what I thought it was.
That's funny.
But when I saw, I just knew. I was like, the wrestling don't have. As they would call, he was so urban. He was hip hop, the gold or the platinum chains, the cockiness, his whole thing is I'm better than you. So he was telling dudes that have been wrestling, telling Ric Flair, I'm better than you. And the crowd's like, boo. He's like, I'm better than y'all. I'll beat you in anything. He was challenging people to basketball game. Bro, he took that and ran with it. And I was like, yo, so when the VIP lounge popped off, I was like, that's fucking genius because that's from the club. And that's how people in the club was acting. And he fucking used all of that. And it's like, yo. And even to him being suited and booted, because when I did parties in the club, you couldn't come with me unless you was suited and booted. Like, that was the rule. Like, you don't got a suit, stay home.
Yeah.
And so I watched all that. I'm like, yo, he's doing that. And now he had action figures back in the day. I wanted to buy one. And then they was like at like Target, Walmart, and then they didn't see none anymore. I was like, damn, I should have just got him. And now because he's with the Hurt Business, they're back. And I'm like, yes.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? And so, and he got a little son, and like, yo, he's a dope person. And it's just like, the journey, like to me, it's just inspiring. Like, yo, keep going. Whatever it is, you just keep going. Because the setback was like, yo, he's out of WWE. No, like people would hit him on Instagram because they're like, man, what happened? And now, back with a vengeance. Even when they came back, it was on some like underground. The video, I mean, you know, wrestling the script, right? But like,
Wait, what?
they were like, they're like in like a far away place where these guys was like wrestling like underground, and he's like, oh, y'all want to wrestle? Like, yo, I got a dude for you. I'll put up $5,000, whatever the storyline was. And then he brought in the dude, big old black dude, come in there and just bomb, sleep to everybody in there. You too, bomb, you get one, bam, everybody get a body slam. Done, and they like the Hurt Business, and it went on. And now they're like, oh, this is the Hurt Business. Now they're going through WWE just terrorizing everybody.
That's crazy.
And it's technically Will's four brothers.
That is crazy. That's what's up.
Those dudes, Bobby the Brain Heenan now. He's got a job forever, right? I mean, until Bobby the Brain Heenan was still, he was 75 years old, he was still, yeah, my guys are coming in.
Yeah.
He just got to do the shtick. He doesn't actually have to fight anymore. It's genius, right? Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah. That's all I got. I'm gonna eat this, so y'all can talk about whatever.
All right. You okay? You good with ice cream?
Yo, the ice cream was solid, man.
Yeah, it's fine.
I might take the boxes home too.
You can take them. Shout out to the Body Butters.
Oh yeah, shout out to Body Butters, man.
Yeah.
That soap is great.
Shout out to Anthony Griffin in the building. Tell them where they can find you, because you got a YouTube channel on with like 10,000 people.
No, not that many. Trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming.
Yeah, I got all my social media is Mr. Griffin 23. So MR Griffin 23. That's it. Everything.
Nice.
Uniform. I like it.
Yeah. So with YouTube, I haven't got to the TikTok or anything like that yet.
Coming
mainly.
soon, though. You're not gonna do TikTok?
I'm still working on what I got.
I bet you there's all kinds of car guys on TikTok. I never thought about it before, but I bet there is.
But my YouTube is just cars only. Cars only. So, and then my Instagram is just.
Give them the brand too on your shirt.
Yeah. So I just actually started Instagram page for Renegade Elite Fitness, but for short I call it Rep. Yeah. So I just started that page.
Told y'all.
Yeah.
One word with a meaning.
Yeah.
So we're all waiting for the shirts. So hurry up.
Yeah,
So these are the samples. But yeah,
They're coming soon,
apparel.
right?
Yeah, apparel coming soon. Yeah, man. So if you're in the cars, YouTube,
that's the
Mr. Griffin 23. Yeah, that's my side hustle for myself.
Ain't no hustle,
Yeah.
bro. You'll go to him with this shit, and he'll come back with a '64 Mustang. He's that guy. Don't lie.
Yeah.
So, anybody else want to shout out something? Okay, the shy guy.
I do.
Oh,
What?
Don't do
Wow.
no, do it.
Okay.
No, yeah.
Shout out to my mama. I love you, mom.
Oh,
We love you, Mama Chaz.
I thought you about to shout out Arby's. I was waiting for it. Check out. We'll leave it alone.
Shout out to my boy Sharon, the barber too, in Tacoma, Washington. The Bad Company. I still ice cream on the shirt, but you know what I'm saying? BAD, Build and Dream. Thing just died, I think. Or just says low or something.
Another acronym.
Yeah, Build and Dream. Right? It says 20%.
You good? Yeah, low battery.
Yeah. So, yeah, shout out to him. Build and Dream, the Bad Company. Check them out too, you know what I'm saying? For the merch. Rock deep, you know what I'm saying? On the shoe side of the game.
Those are cool. Even if they do look like Ohio State, they're very cool.
That's what makes them even better. Shout out to Ohio State, you know what I'm saying? The homie G. Scott Jr. son.
Roll Tide.
Dope. Okay.
God have mercy.
Right?
Bandwagon.
You from Canada.
No.
And you said roll tide. There's no tide.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
That's them Cowboy fans.
From the Duke basketball guys giving me a hard
You
time.
trying to give me a hard time because the dude roll tide. Whole other country.
Roll it,
roll
Lakers.
tide. You know what I mean? Shout out to Gonzaga.
Yeah, they got their ass whooped, didn't they?
They
got their ass
They
whooped.
got to hand it to him, boy.
They ran to them Southern boys though.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. That's
It was a
like
good tournament this year, though.
that's like
That was
suburbs
like-
versus the hood.
Yeah.
It's a different hunger.
too.
Baylor.
Oh yeah.
The boys in Baylor was like, we're not playing with y'all.
It didn't look like, I mean, it looked
From
like.
jump.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's like 12-0, 16-0 right out the gate. Yeah. And Gonzaga was like, we don't know what to do. Like,
Yeah.
This is a whole different deal. It was crazy.
Them Texas boys, that's a different breed. But whatever. They did better than Duke though.
Yeah, well, Duke didn't make the tournament.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We'll be back.
How many we got?
We'll be back. You're a Duke guy too.
How
Yeah.
many we got?
Oh, for sure.
How many times we got?
How many?
Forgot.
When the last?
Two, maybe.
When the last time y'all?
We'll leave it at that.
You want to talk about UCLA?
They like
to number of
26, I
titles.
think we
No,
need-
I thought-
we
go
need
there.
to be right for-
Oh, they like to live in the past because the
26,
present
27,
isn't great.
That's correct.
They like to
Best
live in
coach
the
hands
past.
down.
They like to
Ain't
live
no
in the
coach
past.
touching that one.
They like to live in the
I don't even
past.
think
You're gonna put Coach K over Coach Wooden.
Yeah, I am
Yes.
actually.
No.
He cleared him.
Come
For
on,
sure.
man.
He cleared him. And it makes it even that much if anybody can pass
Is
him,
Duke gonna do
it would
something
be
next
him.
year?
It would be him. If anybody can take that throne, it would be him. Especially because
He
he
not-
not under him too.
Well, take this year off, so he a little more behind.
Right.
That's all right.
Yeah,
There's
he's
still a
slowing
lot of-
down.
There's still a lot of coaches that gotta catch up. They ain't even close.
I'm just saying,
I'm just saying.
you know.
He's gonna go undefeated.
Greatness gotta take a loss every once in a while.
who-
Back to
we?
back national champions. That
Mhm.
shit.
Who?
Baylor.
Who? Baylor?
Yeah, I'm a Baylor fan too now.
You're the worst bandwagon ever. The worst bandwagon ever.
Oh my God.
Who's your
I knew he
football
was just
team?
talking the whole time.
Who won the Super Bowl this year?
Yeah, you don't even know who your team is. Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that's my team too.
Yeah, right.
I rep with them.
Right. Who's your team in the NBA right now?
The Brooklyn Nets.
Brooklyn Nets. Yeah.
Them with the
Baseball? You got a baseball team? You know?
No, I don't really like baseball, man.
Probably the Dodgers, though, right?
No, I'll be a Yankees fan for sure.
Oh, all right.
They still got
No, Alex Rodriguez stopped a long time.
okay, how about that?
Did you? But did you read that A-Rod's buying?
Wait, what?
A-Rod and his buddy are buying the Minnesota Timberwolves.
I didn't hear that, but I did hear Too Short, Ice Cube, E40, and somebody else got an album coming out in like a week
Oh wow.
Wow.
called Mount Westmore. Who's the other person?
Oh man,
Hold on. That's this one.
I didn't hear that.
I know you didn't hear that, Freddie B.
Snoop Dogg.
And Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, Too Short, and E40.
Oh, E40, yeah.
Not Westmore.
Mount
That's
Westmore.
dope. That's dope.
Uh-huh.
Something to ride to.
That's right. Well, speaking of ride, we're gonna ride out because it's been a minute, so we're gonna get out of here. Appreciate y'all. Peace, love,
Yes, sir.
and fire ants, and shout out to Palm Trees. You know how we do.
Hey.
Yerp.